What's up, everybody? It's Matt with Texas Edge Home Inspections, and today we're looking at a property in beautiful Magnolia, Texas by Picklo Homes. Not only is this a beautiful and high-performance home, but they're utilizing a brand new and innovative product that I am a huge fan of called Fusion Air and Lighting. Let's go in here and check out this place. I got Josue from Fusion Air right here. It's Fusion Air Lighting, right? And we call it Fusion Air Lighting because
we're infusing air and lighting into one.
That's right, that's right. Really cool stuff. So I've been through this house. It's gorgeous. They have these Fusion Air cans going on everywhere. What's awesome is that some of them are actual air registers and some of them are lights, but you can't tell the difference. Now, Josue, tell me why you felt like the market was needing something like this.
Well, coming from the HVAC background, there was nothing that was aesthetically pleasing or performing correctly. And so I wanted to resolve that by creating Fusion Air, which is the lighting and HVAC into one simple product.
Right, and not only does it give you that seamless look, but it outperforms traditional registers as well. Is that correct?
Correct. We've been doing extensive third-party data, and everything just comes back really positive in our favor. And you just feel it. You can't see air, but you can feel it. And so,
but you guys done smoke tests too.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can actually see that.
Yep.
That's something you can actually see. So in addition to that, we've had a few questions come in about Fusion Air, and one of them was condensation. So people are concerned that because we have a can light there and we have cold air coming across it, and it's a metal supply register, right? They're concerned about condensation issues. You got anything you can add on that?
Well, I mean, that was obviously a concern of ours in the design phase of it, but we wanted to, make sure that we address what we see already in today's world. Condensation is an issue with traditional registers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we got a LED light that produces very little heat, so it's not working against AC or creating some sort of dew point, temperature difference, creating, that issue.
Right.
And it really comes down to not only the product itself and how it moves air, but really the ducting behind it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how much air it moves or how little air it moves. That's really where you get the condensation issue.
So the condensation isn't really happening because of the metal supply. And like you said, a lot of supplies are already metal, but the light is just not producing a whole lot of heat that would cause us to hit some type of dew point that would create the condensation issues that people are having such raised concerns about.
Correct. And so this is, I mean, what we'll show here today, we're in Houston.
Right.
It's one of the biggest humidity places in the country.
Right.
And as we'll showcase here today, it's not a concern.
Right.
When things are done properly, you don't have that concern.
It's not going to have those issues. So another thing that people were talking about an awful lot was that it looks restrictive and may be noisy.
Yeah.
And so do you have anything to add on that?
Once again, we really focused on the design aspect of the product, and we use what is today's acceptable standards. Static pressure on a diffuser is anywhere from 0.03 to 0.15. We are sitting at about 0.08. So we sit right in the middle of that acceptable range. Once again, it's something that people look at and they want to criticize and stuff like that, and I get it. It looks like it could be restrictive, but the reality is it's not restrictive. I want to emphasize it falls down into the design of the ducting. You can have traditional registers, which we see today, that are very, very loud, that are restrictive. It's the lack of knowledge behind the product, whether it's Fusion Air, traditional register, or whatever it is in the market.
So anything can be restrictive if it's not installed properly.
Correct.
Right? And like you said, a lot of it comes from ducting. All right, guys, now I got Tom Richardson of H&R Air Conditioning, and he's probably going to tell us more about pressures than anything you'd ever want to know. So Tom, Fusion Air, you're a fan of this product, and tell me why. Now this is your project, right? This is your design?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
So this house right here, Picklo Homes, you designed this system,
yes.
and you have installed, anywhere possible, you've installed these Fusion Air cans. Tell us your thoughts on this and what you think they are going to do in terms of performance.
As far as performance, I've already checked static pressures. I've already checked airflow. As long as you design for 65 to 70 or 75 CFMs per outlet, you'll be fine.
Okay.
If you try to put more air through it than that, you're going to create static pressure problems.
Right. So don't do that, right?
Don't do that. As
So-
long as it's designed correctly, the product works great. You get better air distribution because you have more outlets in a room and
Right.
they're smaller outlets.
Right.
So your air distribution is a whole lot better. You have no cold spots, you have no hot spots.
Right,
Everything
right.
maintains the same temperature.
And it's actually just getting distributed out through the whole room.
Yes.
So now these are all 6-inch, right? You're running
Yes.
6-inch
6-inch,
ducts to
they're
all
all
of these.
6-inch.
So how do you feel about that? Because ultimately you're running more ductwork, correct?
Yes, but you're running smaller ductwork. You're
Right.
taking for instance, an 8-inch duct, you're splitting it off to 2 6s to keep your airflow correct.
Right.
Yeah, you're running a little bit more duct, but it's smaller duct.
Right.
And in my case, the electrician is hanging the light cans for me, so I'm actually taking part of the labor out, which lets me
Okay.
afford to pay for the extra ductwork.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. What made you choose to go with this product, and how do you just know it's going to work?
Cosmetics
Yeah, you want it just because it looks good, right?
Cosmetics.
It looks great.
and experimenting with static pressures and a blower motor in my office prior to ever designing a home.
Right.
I sat
So
and
you
studied
tested this
I
product.
studied this product for 2 weeks before I would show it to anybody
Wow.
because I was trying to find something wrong with it.
Okay.
And
So
I
you,
can't find any negatives to
I mean,
it.
that's the deal. We only know what we can test, right? So you have taken this product and tested it in a controlled environment
Yes.
before you ever considered using it on a
Yes.
house.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. And so you were obviously impressed with its results.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with static pressure. At 60, 65 CFMs, I've got 0.08, 0.07 static pressure at my supplies.
Nice. So let me ask you, like, obviously it looks beautiful, right? And that's probably like, okay, when we're looking at this from a standpoint of like, why would I want to use this? We're looking at like, well, it's beautiful. It's going to look great. It's going to eliminate so much. You know, all we have are lights now. We don't have air supply registers and lights.
Correct.
So it looks great. But like, let's take the beautiful part of it out of it. If it wasn't for that,
You
would
still have
be
better
interested?
air distribution.
Because it's just better
It's still a
performing.
better product. Your air distribution is so much better.
Wow.
You're covering the whole room with smaller drops versus dropping a cold air or a hot air down outside wall and trying to pull it back across the room.
You guys shouldn't listen to this guy because he started doing HVAC yesterday.
Yeah,
How long you been doing HVAC, Tom?
since 1980.
Okay, and currently it's 2025 for those of you that are watching in the future. He's been doing this a bit, okay? Tom's been at this for a while, so I would venture to say you've got a pretty firm grasp on what's going on with the HVAC systems.
I would like to think I do.
The one thing I like about Tom is Tom's been doing this forever, but you don't do things the same way you used to do them.
No, things are
we-
nowhere near like they used to be.
We've had long conversations about adapting to new products, new things, and the new way that homes are being built. You can't
Correct.
do things the way you used
No,
to do.
you have to keep learning, and you have to keep learning pretty much on a daily or weekly basis.
Right. And so you're staying up with the time, even though you've been around a minute,
I still spend a lot of time
Right.
researching and checking stuff.
still looking
And I
at
will
new
continue
things.
to.
You don't want to just continue to do the same old thing on the as buildings become tighter, the envelopes become tighter. It's great that we are building homes that are better at managing energy efficiency, but if we don't design our systems to handle that,
Correct.
we're signing up for major problems.
Correct. You have to design for dehumidification more so now than you ever did because the houses are built so tight.
So we're talking about dehumidification, and I went in the attic earlier, and you had two
This house has
dehumidifiers.
2 dehumidifiers in it.
So
This
tell me
house
about
has
that.
one to dehumidify the attic standalone because it is a foam attic and we do not want humidity in the attic.
Right.
The other dehumidifier is tied into the duct system to come on to dehumidify the living area.
So you've got a dedicated dehumidifier for the attic space. One thing I didn't see up there was air supply registers up there. Now, what's up with that?
As long as I can dehumidify the space, I'm not worried about mold growth or anything like that.
And but temperature, like what's keeping the temperature regulated up there? Just the fact that
The
they're
fact
foam?
that you're not totally sealed between the living quarters and the above. You're going to
So-
have some permutation through vents or whatever.
Even though these supplies are sealed vents, you
Yeah,
still
but none
you
of your other penetrations in the ceiling are caulked or sealed on a foam house.
see a
That's
couple
what
of
my
pendant
house is.
lights. I guess pendant lights, is that
Pendant
what we're
lights,
okay,
will,
pendant lights,
there
fans?
will be some transfer. There'll be some
Okay.
transferring, even the penetrations for smoke detectors.
Okay, smoke
But
detectors.
now if we get
So-
into conventional housing, then we have to seal everything.
Well, that's a
100%.
completely different
It's a
situation, yeah. And then,
Foam is a whole different ballgame.
right, completely. And so we are relying on some air to move through, since there's no air sealing or insulation in between the living space and the attic space.
On this
We were
particular
relying
house.
on some amount of air to move through there to condition the space, but we're not worried about supplying air to the space as long as we have dehumidification.
Correct, on this particular house.
Cool, interesting. Yeah, it's all by design. See, any of these things, they don't. Nothing is a blanket like we do this on every single house. It has to be specifically designed for the house, and that's the reason why you specifically designed this HVAC.
And it's something I created. I created one page, I'm gonna say manual data sheet.
Okay.
That I have my builders fill out.
Okay.
Before I bid the job.
Okay.
To tell me what they are and are not doing.
Interesting.
That way I know how to run my heat load.
You guys, now I've got Eddie from Riley Custom Homes out of Belton, okay?
That's correct.
You recently found out about Fusion Air. How'd you find out about Fusion Air?
So we were at the Build Trade show live in Dallas
Yeah.
a few weeks back, and I saw the product, and Jose asked if he could have two minutes of our time. And I was kind of rushing out the door, and I said, "You have 2 minutes to impress me." I stayed for 45 minutes.
Wow, okay.
And the thing that caught my eye about the unit is traditionally, as custom home builders, we're looking for the next product to step up our game. And when I saw this product, walking into a home with high-pitched ceilings, whatever the case may be, we're always stuck by looking at these air vents. And we're always looking at what can we do with these air vents. There's 4 or 5 different brands out there we can go with, but will our homeowners pay that cost? And when I saw this product here, where the air comes out of these holes and you have the LED light in the center, to me it was a no-brainer to have our homes be able to transfer over to something like this. Meaning the fact is, you walk in, you see these vaulted ceilings, and you're looking around and you see no air penetrations anywhere.
Right.
And to me, that was something that I just said, we have to have that product.
Right, yeah. I mean, from an aesthetic standpoint, it's hard to argue, taking those supply registers out of the mix and just incorporating them with a light is just a no-brainer. It does definitely look beautiful. So yeah, that quick 2-minute conversation turned into a 40. You didn't even have 45 minutes.
No, I didn't.
Fantastic. So you can see, guys, word's getting out there. This product is kind of catching on. People are starting to figure it out. And you came in here to check out this house just so you can kind of see the product in action?
I drove 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, I drove 3 hours because, again,
look at the time dedication already.
Again, the way I look at it from a custom home builder is, it's just not only air hand. We could add we can add a dehumidifier to it.
Sure. Yeah.
We can add air exhaust. We can add so many things to it that you won't know as a homeowner it's there unless we tell you it's there.
Right.
Which is amazing. It's
right.
I think right now we're looking at 5 or 6 items in one.
Right.
I even heard about they're also making a possible fan version.
Is that on lock? Can we talk about that yet? I don't know.
There's
something in the works. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. No, I mean, it's good. We need some innovation in some of these areas. We do all of these things to make homes beautiful, right? I mean, if you look around this house, if you just look right here at just the appliances alone, how they're integrated, the color, the door on the pantry, this beautiful range hood, obviously it's unfinished, but it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. The beams, the brick, we're doing all of these things to make things look better, but we really haven't paid much attention ever to the fact that air supply registers are a bit of an eyesore.
Correct.
Now we've got all of these can lights that are going in no matter what, and we're able to integrate both of those into one. Now, have you done any deep dives on like the performance of these things?
Correct, absolutely.
What do you plan on as in terms of HVAC design? Like, what does that look like for you?
So the perfect thing is we have our designers in-house that will design the unit based on their airflow. And what we found is actually produces much more airflow than what we could cover with the traditional air vent unit.
Cool.
Because the problem that we're facing with the air unit, typically in a room, let's say 12 by 12, you have one air vent.
Yeah.
And so it's only 3-directional.
Yeah.
This way or forward.
Right.
But with this unit,
or
one. With this unit, we can have 4 LED lights in there and decided to put 2 as an air handler unit.
Right.
And the rest, you won't even know it's there.
Yeah, and they just, the way that they distribute air out to the sides and down and just
Cover
seem to-
every single point of view that we
Yeah, the
need.
coverage is pretty incredible whenever you look at it.
Correct.
I've seen it in a smoke test. Of course, I've seen some diagrams of how air is distributed whenever you use this product versus traditional. And the results are pretty astonishing. I mean, I can't believe that.
It really is. When we saw the numbers, we really just can sit here and say, this is something we need to push back to the side. We need to come down. Like I said, we drove 3 hours to come down here and see a finished product for ourselves. Because when you see it on the show, you're kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. But when you see the finished product, you're walking upstairs, looking at the actual unit.
Yeah.
You're just like, why are we not doing this?
Yeah, when you walk into a house like this in particular,
Correct.
with like this vaulted ceilings and these beams, and you look up, I mean, you don't see
Yeah.
any supply registers.
no.
That's when you really start to go, okay, yeah, I get it.
Again, we have a home right now we're designing. It's a 38-foot pitch ceiling, vaulted. And you walk in, because we did it previously before, you walk in, you're seeing just 2 air supply units just on the side, just 2 massive squares that should look like speakers. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, like, man, I wish we could have did something differently on this build. And when I saw what he had, he showed me the same exact height. And I was like, there's no air vents anywhere.
Right.
And you're sitting here, oh, I gotta see this in person.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's hard to believe when you actually put your eyes on it.
It's going to make you mad. You're going to wish you could go back and redo all of
100%. But I think moving forward, it's the direction that I want to take my company, Riley Custom Homes,
Yeah, sure.
in that direction.
So Eddie, tell me, Riley Custom Homes, these people out here that want to know where to find you, how do they find you?
You can go to our website, rileycustomhomes.com, or Instagram, rileycustomhomes.co. We're in Belton, Texas, but we build in pretty much all over Texas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, well, thanks for talking to me, man.
buddy.
And thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
All right. Back behind me, these guys are finishing up that range hood right now, and we are getting ready to wrap up this video, but this has been really cool to kind of see this product in action, Fusion Air, get some opinions from some other people, some other professionals in the industry, some other HVAC contractors. We have obviously some other builders here checking this product out, and to see it in action to kind of get their opinions has been really cool. You guys check out the next video. Matt with Texas Edge Home Inspections. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.